What's going on, guys? Let me start this video with a question. Are you a huge sports fan and do you like going to sports games? Well, today you're in luck because I have a promo code for SeatGeek, which is a ticket sharing app that rates each ticket deal you might come across on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being the worst and 10 being the best. Scores more towards 0 show up in red, while scores more towards 10 show up in green. My promo code to get $20 off on SeatGeek is OberSports. You use that code, you get $20 off on any single purchase you want on SeatGeek. With that being said, let's get to the video. What's going on, guys? Jacob Ober here. In this video, I want to highlight some similarities that I see between Richard Sherman and Jaire Alexander, and why Jaire Alexander might be the next best defensive superstar in the NFL. So, before I begin, I know that there are probably going to be a lot of comments saying, "Oh, Jaire's got such a long way to go. Let's not compare him just yet." I know that. I know that Jaire Alexander has a long way to go. I'm just highlighting some similarities between the two players that I see, because it's never too early to highlight similarities you see between one player and another player, especially if one player is a younger player who hasn't quite gotten established in the league yet, and the other is an established player that might have a few Pro Bowls under their belt or something. But one similarity that I see, and this is the most striking similarity between the two, is that Jaire Alexander and Richard Sherman both talk a lot of trash on the field. And this is something that I like to see a lot from quarterbacks. It's not, usually I'm someone who doesn't really like that kind of thing, but when you're a cornerback, I think it's different, because corners and wide receivers, they match up every single play of the game, you know, and saying things and talking smack and everything like that, it allows you to get into the head of your opponent, so it gives you a competitive advantage against them. And that's why a lot of wide receivers talk trash to the corners, too. It's kind of like a mutual thing, and it's something that happens a lot. But Jaire Alexander, I mean, not only does he talk trash, but he's also able to back it up, and that's the same thing with Richard Sherman. Like, when Richard Sherman was talking trash, I remember a lot of people saying, well, he can talk trash as long as he can back it up, and he certainly backed it up because he was one of the best corners in the league, and he may be a top 10 corner in league history when all is said and done. But that's something I like so much about Jaire, because it's like it feels like it's been a long time since the Packers have had a player like that just like, there's such a personality on the field, you know, that they talk so much on the field. It's like it's like funny, and it's cool, and it makes them seem more intimidating, and I like that a lot. The one game that I remember this happening a lot in was the Rams game last year in October. I can't remember if he was matched up on Brandon Cooks or Robert Woods. I think it was Brandon Cooks, but like, he was breaking up a lot of passes in that game. That was probably Jaire's best game as a pro, and he was just like, every time he broke up a pass, he'd stand up and he'd go like that, and he'd like do some flamboyant celebration. I just love that kind of stuff, because it just like gives them such an edge and competitiveness, and it makes me feel, you know, like they're more intimidating and they're more fun to watch. So that's the first similarity I see between these guys. The second one is both of their strong ball skills. You know, both of them are so adept at knocking away passes and just getting physical with the receivers, and that's something that, you know, like, if you can't do that as a corner effectively, I don't really think that you are going to be much of a superstar in the league. You could be a good corner maybe, but like just getting in their grill and putting your hands on them and like hitting them around and knocking the ball away, that's something that both of these guys have done a lot in their careers, and I see it seems really similar between the two. When I see the highlights of Jaire and I see the highlights of Richard Sherman, they both are just really, really physical with the receivers that they're covering, and they're not afraid to take hits, not afraid to hit other guys. That's really something that I like to see out of Jaire Alexander, and it's something that really gives me some hope that he's going to be a really, really good player in this league. But like I said, though, I mean, Jaire's still got a long way to go before he matches anything close to Richard Sherman's status. But the similarities between the two, it just seems, you know, like they both have an edge to them. They both are very physical. They're both not afraid to get hit, not afraid to take hits, not afraid to hit other guys, not afraid to talk smack. I just love players like that. that is what I like to see out of our defense. And our defense has been, kind of like a they've been a unit that's like they just kind of fall over and lay over for offenses sometimes in the past, and we've seen it plenty and plenty of times. So I like it when our defense has an edge, because I think that can actually be a difference maker when you're talking about like going up against elite offenses and stuff. If your defense has an edge, if your defense is not scared to hit the opponent, then that could instill some fear into the other offense. So I just really like that out of players. I love seeing that out of players, and I'm really, really happy that we have a guy like Jaire Alexander that could do that to opponents, that can get in their head, that can make them feel pain and everything, and isn't afraid to hit them or get hit back. I just love that, and I really think that it's a solid comparison between Sherman and Jaire. And like I said, Jaire's not even close yet, but I just love seeing it, and I love the hope that it gives me, and the hope that he could one day become something like that. It might be sooner rather than later, too. I expect him to take a pretty big jump this next upcoming season. So, anyways, guys, well, that's all I really have to say in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do you think that Jaire Alexander is going to be a great cornerback in this league? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.